There we go.
Bing bong, bing bong, hello, everybody.
Hey, what's up?
You know, I want to welcome to another episode of Trek in the Valley, the non-encyclopedic Star Trek podcast, where every week myself, Adam Ordall Quinnell, and my co-host,
Hey, everybody, it's Al Hirt. What's up?
Mr. Al Hirt and I, we get together in an undisclosed location off Auto Row in the sunny San Fernando Valley to discuss an episode of one of our great cultural works, Star Trek, the original series. And we start out with talking about what we talked about last week, and then we talk about this week's episode, give it a little rating review of how do you do, and then we tell you what we're watching or listening to, and that's the whole show. But I wanted to take a second and say we don't talk enough about how Al made the music, the intro music. It's great.
Appreciate it.
It's good. I feel like I said that like in the first couple episodes, and then I stopped saying it. It's in the notes or whatever. You know who does what. But I just was listening to it now, grooving like, oh, no, this is pretty good. This is good. So good job on that.
Appreciate
And so we start every episode. And this episode, I'm not going to say we're going to rush it, but it is like 104 degrees outside, and we have to turn off the AC and shit to record. For you lovely people, and we love it. Welcome back. Thank you.
Yes, thank you for the returning listeners.
But it's hot as fuck, so we're gonna do it, and we're not gonna have any fat on this episode because it's melted off by the god awful fucking sun. So, Al, this is important. Last week we talked about the episode "The Mark of Gideon."
Yes, Mark of Gideon.
What do you remember about that episode?
The big things I remember is Kirk vanishes, and then for some reason there's a whole replica Enterprise.
Was that the replica Enterprise? Okay, cool, yeah.
Yeah, it was an entire replica, and then the overpopulation, we noticed that.
Oh, yeah, everybody's crammed in.
Yeah, that was, and then they needed Kirk's disease to start killing themselves, and the daughter was like the catalyst, the sexy catalyst.
Give me your disease. Put your disease inside of me, Kirk.
And Kirk was like, oh, I passed out for an hour and I have this weird bruise on my arm that looks just like an incision.
It looks just like it looks just like a clumsy phlebotomist bruised the shit out of my vein.
As if he didn't know what the human body was made of.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, anywho. So then it was like a really slow, like, quote unquote, whoa, mystery episode. Meanwhile, the better part, which was Spock dealing with Gideon, right? Is that the planet Gideon?
Yeah, the Gideon, the Council of Gideons.
They were just being really annoying and bureaucratic, and they're like, we investigated ourselves and found no wrongdoing.
Oh my god, doesn't that fucking it's just like
it was so awful.
The government does that fucking shit all the time. We investigated ourselves. They expect the tech sector to regulate itself. They accept like a report from Google where Google's like, no, we're not evil. We did this. Look, we're Google. Clearly we have the resources to learn if we're evil or not. Turns out we're not. So you're good to keep subsidizing us. But yeah, and then what happened at the end? How'd they get out of it?
Oh, the way they got out of it was Spock just put in the first coordinates and just went to the replica Enterprise. And then he interrupted the meeting, I guess, where they were, what was it? Kirk was talking to the father or whatever. And he like just showed up randomly. And then I think the way they resolved it was that Kirk saves the daughter and then the daughter goes back.
Yes.
And then they just don't deal with the overpopulation, do they?
Well, that's what they're dealing with.
Right.
The overpopulation will get dealt with via the disease that's going to kill 30% of them or whatever.
So the disease goes on.
Yeah.
Okay.
In her.
Regardless.
In her. even though they saved her, she's got it in her now, and they can get it out.
That's right.
And give it to other people.
And she was like, I have to go back.
And I think that's funny because that's fucked
At least
up
there's
because
some resolution. Then I'm so fucked up with the mystery and the whole overpopulation thing. I don't even remember if they resolved it or not. You know?
No, what they did sort of, because she was like, I'm gonna go back and let them use my disease or whatever. So what that means is they're gonna give the disease to the people, and just some
Like
people gonna
willingly?
die. Like,
Right.
and they think that's better than just chopping folks' heads off.
Or doing the number thing.
Or not having sex. Like,
Yeah.
that's what's so fucked up. Like they say that, you know, they can't
Kirk offers.
sterilize us because when we snip when we tie off the vas deferens or whatever,
They untie
it unties itself because they're so resilient.
More organs grow.
Yeah. And so,
I don't know.
and it's funny because it
Strange.
would have been funny if after that Kirk said, "Well, why don't you just wear condoms?" And he'd be like, "We don't like how they feel."
Yeah. Right.
Like, you know, we feel like
shit's
not
lame,
only
dog.
95% effective, or just not have sex. Oh, now you're crazy.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, and that's what happens at the end.
Blasphemy.
They get Kirk back.
That's
He's
right.
fine.
And they're like, all right, let's get out of here.
Let's get the fuck out of here. And that was last week. This week, we're talking about an episode I remember very little about, but it will come back to me as soon as I see Spock with his little fidget spinner toy.
Yeah, this takes a completely different direction.
And so this episode is called That Which Survives, and it originally aired on January 24th, 1969. And the synopsis from our William S. Burroughs over at Paramount Plus
Yeah.
is a deadly computer image protects a long dead outpost. Again with the fucking spoilers in the synopsis.
Yep, that's it.
Ladies and gentlemen, and all things in between, that is fucking shit you don't learn until the last 10 minutes or last 15 minutes of
that's
the
like-
episode.
That's like the crucial thing.
It's like if they were doing it for The Sixth Sense and they were like, child sees dead people, works with detective that doesn't know he's dead.
Yeah, Bruce Willis was dead the whole time.
Works with ghost detective.
Yeah, right.
Young boy who sees dead people works with ghost detective. And so this starts like all these like so many of these episodes start with a rad remastered shot of the
Yes.
ship with an amazing planet behind it.
Zipping around up there.
And man, maybe I'm baked, but like the lighting looks really weird in this opening. Like it
Yeah.
looks dimmer than normal, and like there's just these huge fucking shadows that aren't normally present on the bridge.
Yeah, they put like these weird little arcs or beams
Yeah, like-
in front of the lighting, so it just goes this weird dark bar across
Why
their
would it?
chests.
Why it's so strange? That's because that's from the ceiling. That's
For
like
sure.
and you can tell how it's anyway.
But why would I'm not sure whether they would do
I
that.
didn't mean to sidetrack things, but like I look up at the screen and I just see this fucking insane half lit bullshit, and
Oh,
it's
yeah,
like
you can
this
tell.
is yeah. So Kirk and Spock and the gang are let's see here. They are. There's a planet. They find a planet that's only a few thousand years old, but it has like an atmosphere similar to Earth and
Yeah,
like
it's like advanced.
vegetation that they wouldn't have.
But
in-
what's impossible about it is that it has a very it has a gravity like the same gravity as Earth, but it's like the mass is the size of the moon.
yeah, so it's very
like,
dense.
What's going on there?
That means it's very dense.
Yeah, and they got to figure out what else is in it. Maybe at one point they even say maybe another hollow Earth, and then now it's Spock excuse me, it's Kirk, Bones and
Sulu. And
then
Blue
what's his
Shirt.
name?
Oh,
Blue Shirt. Mr.
D'Amato.
Geologist D'Amato. Yeah.
This geologist D'Amato, played by Arthur Batanides.
Shout out to Arthur.
Shout out to Arthur. This guy, it's like he was cast as like a pizza chef in a different show. And that show, like they shut down the filming for some reason that day, and his agent called him and was like, "Hey, they've got a spot on Star Trek that opened up. because he is
Like, everybody watches Star Trek.
Does not seem like a fucking like a space adventurer at all. He's like, I'm a pizza chef that knows about space geology.
I remember you really making that point, though. You're like, that's what kind of makes it nice, though, and humble. You know, it's not like they can't all be first draft picks,
right?
You know?
Yeah, exactly. It's just like
stunners.
I love it when there's just regular ass people. Like, well, I mean, that's why I like shit like I think you should leave and Tim and Eric and shit. You know, because they just use regular ass people. But I love it.
That's the charm.
Spoiler alert: we don't get too attached to D'Amato.
Of course.
So they beam down, and as they're beaming down, while they're beaming, a beautiful lady beams into the fucking transporter room and just straight up murders the transporter attendant.
And then she goes, "Don't go," and they just apparate.
Peace. And then they get down to the planet, and there's immediately an earthquake.
This was definitely the biggest special effects I've seen in the show. Like the moving platform and the rocks. I was like, okay, I see you. Like,
oh my God.
They actually have something. Meanwhile, they're still shaking the camera, you know, on the Enterprise.
Oh, dude. And I have to bring up that they also make it look, so there's a great remastered space shot of the Enterprise while this is shaking.
Oh, that's right.
And they make it look like the ship is shaking in space. Like, that's not how space works. I think we knew that in 1969, you know? And then the Enterprise stops shaking, and Spock doesn't have that thing in his hand yet. When does he get it?
And Uhura is like, "Spock, are you okay?" And he's like, "I bumped my head." And she goes, "What happened?" And he goes, "The occipital lobe of my brain hit the edge of this chair." And
he's
like, "What the fuck?"
She's like, she asked him what happened, and he said, "I bumped my head," but he said it in Vulcan.
Yeah, and then she was like, "No, literally, what did you think happened?" And he's like, "I'm not sure. It shook. The ship shook."
He's like being all funny, and then that's the last time he's funny.
Yeah, it gets just really bizarre.
On the planet, D'Amato.
Yes.
Sweaty as hell, talking about how there's a tremendous energy source inside the planet, and of course, they gotta split up and go check it out.
Well, no, and also the kicker too was that
God.
Sulu was looking in space, and he's like, "The Enterprise, it's gone."
Yeah, he was looking at his readings. Oh, and
tricorder thing.
And Spock and those people on the bridge, they were like, "Where are we? The planet's gone." So they're somewhere else too. But I love how they come back to the planet, and one of them, I don't know who it was, it's either Sulu or Kirk. They say, "Well, the Enterprise must have exploded. Anyway, let's figure this out." Excuse me, 400 souls just went straight to hell, like. And because it's Sulu, he's the one that's like, so the Enterprise must have blown up, right? Like an antimatter explosion or something. I mean, come on. And he's like, let's not guess with everybody being dead if we can. And Sulu's like, once in Siberia, there was a meteor that leveled the whole forest. And he's like, if I wanted a Russian history, I would have brought Chekhov.
Yeah. Kirk shuts that down real quick. I mean, you can see that it's a leader mode. He's like, hey, we need to figure out what we can eat, what we can drink on here. We all need to split up. Hey, you're a geologist. Go look at some plants or some shit. And then what does he tell Bones to do? He has Bones have a specific task of like figuring out how to suck the water out of stuff.
Yes, he's going to get the water out of there's a microbe or something that he's going to try and extract water out of. Now,
that's right. And you're like, they'd never bring any of this research up later, but it is just to fill time.
Now, these fellows have been on this planet for what seems like 5 fucking minutes, right? And Kirk's like, we need food, water, and shelter. We need them fast. And he got everybody broken up to go figure it out. But it's like, I don't know. You usually wrap these things up in less than a day. Like, Kirk, you should look back at your history and be like, usually when shit's fucked up, it's fucked up for like less than a day. Except when we go back in time. Sometimes we're there for a long time.
Yeah.
But we can figure it out.
It's like, so what? The Enterprise is gone every week.
Right? And on the Enterprise, wherever they are, they're like, if the planet had broken up, we would see it. The stars are all different. Oh, this guest actress, Lee Merriweather, plays Locira. Yeah. Oh, wait, no, that's not who she is.
Oh, yeah, no, Locira's later.
Yeah, who is it?
Ensign? No, that's Brad Forrest.
Jeannie Malone, maybe, is the yeoman. Anyway, she's great. We've never seen her before. It does kind of feel like because she's like supposed to be an alien of some sort, and they made her look kind of tan.
Yeah.
And it sort of seems like they were just trying to make a white lady look Cuban. And, it was a different time and everything, but it's just like,
well, Scotty has the bronzer too.
And okay, so there you go. Maybe it's just that everybody was on vacation the week before or something, and they all came back sunburnt, so they had to do like something. But
they all have bronzer on.
They're all red as hell except for Spock. Spock, who still doesn't have his little fidgety button spinner. I feel like
not yet.
Now. Spock is basically saying there was no period of unconsciousness. The ship's chronometers say it was only a couple of seconds, so we must have moved all this distance in that few seconds, and that doesn't make any sense. But we'll figure it out. And Scotty's like, so you're saying the planet's still out there? The captain's alive. We have to get back there and save him. And Spock is like, stop presuming things.
Yeah, we can't have these leaps of logic.
And that's what starts our kind of issue with Spock in this episode.
Yeah.
Because Spock has made a lot of character development over the last 2 seasons, right? And this seems to completely forget that. But we do get an awesome scene with Spock talking to M'Benga because, of course, fucking Bones is on the planet.
Exactly.
So M'Benga's up to the plate for being the doctor. And Spock is like working with Mr. Scott to try and figure out, how long is it going to take us to get to where we were at warp speed. And he says it'll take him a while to get there because they're like 1,000 light years away.
Yeah.
And we looked this up, right?
Yeah, I think so.
So Voyager,
compared to
Voyager was 5,000 light years away. And it was going to take them 72 years.
Jeez.
And this is 1,000 light years away. And they're like, it's going to take us a while. I mean, it should take you 15 fucking years, dog. So they're on their way back to the planet. This is kind of weird. Yeah, he looks at that yeoman and he's like, plot a course back to the planet. And she's like, I've already got it ready to go. And Spock's like, oh, good.
Warp 6?
All right. Warp 6. Oh, cool. Yeah. Bounce. Yep. And Kirk, Bones, Sulu, and D'Amato have kind of reconnoitered and are discussing, what they're going to do long term here. They can't find any water. They can't find any evidence of any rainfall. But there is Earth-type vegetation. How is that possible if there's no rainfall? And there's maybe underground water. So they're just so fucking fixated on what's going on with this planet. And then we get the first of several times this happened. One of them is looking at their tricorder, and they say, I just got a massive life energy reading. Then it went away. It was like somebody opened a door and then closed it.
Yeah, it's like something appeared out of nowhere.
But they can't see it because they're not near. It's just a reading that came
energy.
Up. Yeah, and D'Amato is looking at rocks. He's looking at dirt. He's feeling dirt. He's
and then
twisting.
Doesn't Bones bring it up too, or no?
Well,
no, Sulu does the first time.
Well, D'Amato's got to have his moment with the lady, though.
That's right.
So D'Amato's looking at stuff, and then this beautiful lady that looks just like the lady that killed the transporter guy comes out of nowhere, and she's like, "What are you doing here?" And he's like, "I'm studying rocks. That's what I do." And she's like, "Are you stranded here?" And he's like, "Have you been talking to my friends?" And she's like, "Do not be afraid." And he's like, "I'm not afraid. I'm a pizza chef in 2430. And then she says, "I am for you, Lieutenant D'Amato." And she reaches out to him all creepy like.
Yeah. And he's like, "What? You're the woman on the Enterprise."
And he's like, "Lucky D'Amato, huh?"
Yeah, she goes, "I am only for D'Amato."
And he says,
"Score."
He says, "Lucky D'Amato." And it's just like, that's a weird thing. Dude. Like, that's hilarious. Like, well, he's never talked about himself in third person like that before. And then Bones gets the same life form reading thing. A door is opened and closed. What? That must have been her leaving.
Yeah, exactly.
And then we see the feet of the dead crewman behind a rock.
And once the crewman's dead, that extra one, it's like, oh shit got real.
Yeah.
Dude, it's pretty morbid how they die too. I forgot to mention it because Spock was talking to Mbenga the first time and he's like, hey, what happened to that transporter dude? And he was like, they did cellular decay. And he's like,
disruption.
Wait, what way? Or disruption, yeah. And it was like, they just exploded all their cells from the inside out, but like very quickly. Oh, that sounds awful.
I'm such a dipshit, dude. I even pointed out that they were talking to Mbenga, and I loves me some Mbenga, and we didn't even talk about what they were talking about. Yeah, he was looking into the death of the transporter guy.
And like he was just like, it was pretty morbid. Spock's like, all right, look more into it. Let me know what happens. And he's like, oh, okay.
I definitely don't want all of my cells disrupted. Yeah. Like, I want as few cells disrupted as possible, right? And then Kirk is like they're trying to figure out what the fuck's going on with this planet. Is it a planet? So then Kirk blasts the ground with his phaser. He's just like, I'm gonna just figure out what this planet's made of.
No. He's trying to make a grave.
Oh God, I'm such a dumbass.
For D'Amato.
They need to phaser up a grave for D'Amato.
And he's like, I mean, we're not gonna leave him out here. And so they shoot it. And then they're like, well, fuck, we can't break through this.
Yeah, there's like
maybe we'll just stack the rocks.
Yeah, there's some surface. There's some surface that they can't get through under the sand. And so they're just going to build a funeral pile of rocks around him, which is an acceptable way to bury somebody on the fly. That I'm sure they did that in the Old West all the time.
But also, too, I think it was in the compendium, and it was like, they said it was really ironic that, like, you know, the geologist that was just looking at those rocks was buried in them like minutes after, you know, and I was like, dang, that's pretty morbid.
Buried in the rocks he was studying. D'Amato. Cut to D'Amato. The Enterprise flying through space. And the other thing that I like, so they're going warp 8.4, right? And I love it when they make the Enterprise look like it's going faster through space.
Yeah.
Because I don't think that's how space works, right? Like, they're going to just look like they're like, but they like speed up the Enterprise as it goes across the screen. Like, I love it. And this is when we get more Spock being a dick.
Yeah, she's
tell them about it, Al.
So first, the pilot is the lady pilot. She's great. She's like, if we're gonna stay at this warp 8.4 speed, we're gonna get there in about 11 and a half solar hours. And Spock's like, I think you mean 11.336 hours, miss. And she's like, okay, yeah, 11.333 hours then. And then Scotty all of a sudden calls Spock, and he's like, hey, Spock. I mean, the engines are working and everything, but this just feels weird. And Spock's like, what do you mean, feels? And Scotty's like, again, everything's working. The engines are totally fine, but it just feels different. She just feels weird. And he's like, I can't write that down. Like, what do you mean? That's not quantifiable. What the hell?
Right? And Spock is like, yeah, I can't eat your feelings or whatever, you know? Like,
oh, yeah, he said, check the instrumentation. And he's like, the instruments are accurate, but this just feels weird.
Now Spock's got it. Yes. So he doesn't have it. He doesn't have the thing. And then, so Spock is standing behind the helmsman, who I think might be Naomi Newman as Rada, perhaps, unless she's either Naomi Newman or Lee Merriweather, who is also in Batman 69. Now, Spock walks over to the helmsman and he picks up this little box. Yeah. That's got it looks like a guitar foot pedal switch, kind of, but it's got a bunch of square buttons on it, and he doesn't put it down for the rest of the episode. It is so fucking psychotic. And they didn't really make it look like I thought, it must be something that he's using to like work out calculations. But like he doesn't really that's not what happens.
Yeah,
it's just something
to play with.
It's just he's like got a fidget spinner basically. And then we're back on the planet, and old Morbid Bones fucking comes to life, and he's like Sulu says, it's very sad that he died. And Bones says, well, it'd be even worse if he had company. Like, at least we survived. And Sulu's like, you're going to joke at a time like this? And Bones is like, it's not a joke, you fucking idiot. Until we found out what killed him, we all could be killed by him, you dum-dum.
Yeah, and then Kirk's like, get your shit together. We got to figure out how to devise a defense against this.
Is it possible the rocks have life?
He's just throwing whatever at the wall at this point.
Right?
Because he's like, rocks get water for life.
And so on the Enterprise, Scotty is walking around the engine room, looking around, like,
he's
what
like,
the
uncomfortable.
fuck? What is wrong with what's going on right now? And
yes.
And there's a crewman who's like, working on something. And imagine like you're like working on something at your workstation and your boss is just like looking around like, what the fuck is going on? Like, it's like, sir? And he says, Watkins, check the bypass valve. And Watkins is like, the instrument says that it's closed. Or the instruments say it's not overheating. And he's like, I didn't ask you to check the instruments. I asked you to go fucking look at it, dog. And so then he sends this guy, Watkins, into another room. Never a good sign. If you're in this show, if you're in Star Trek.
Buddy system.
Yeah, right? Like, or if you're a guest star or a day player on a Star Trek and the script has you go in a room by yourself, that's it, man. You ain't getting out of that room, bro. We might see your feet behind a rock.
Yeah.
Like D'Amato style. So he goes into the other room to check that the valve isn't overheating. And then he says he's about to figure it out. And then this lady shows up again. Beautiful lady. And suddenly she's there. And he's like, I've never seen you before. And she's like, tell me all about this technology you got up here. And he just starts telling her rather than yelling, hey, there's a weird lady, he does eventually yell.
No, yeah, he does a good job at the very end.
And she's correcting him. She knows more about the ship than he does.
Yeah, and then he's like, wait, what?
And then, oh shit. So Scotty runs in. He goes, the guy's being killed off camera, and he goes, there's a weird lady here. Help, a weird lady.
He goes, help, there's a weird lady, and she knows all of our plans.
She knows all the plans for the Enterprise.
The Enterprise, yeah. I was like, wow, what a helpful guy.
Well, and also the plans for the Enterprise, what does that mean? Mr. Scott, there's a strange woman who knows the entire plans of the Enterprise.
And then he screams.
Scotty runs in, doesn't see the lady standing right by the door when he comes in, and then at 20 minutes and 20 seconds, 2020.
Yeah.
She disappears in a way that we've never seen on the show before.
It's pretty cool.
It's like she turns into a two-dimensional line. It's like Paper Mario.
Like a frame.
Or that Zelda where you go in between the walls.
Oh, yeah.
That's what she did. And then Scotty calls Spock on the bridge and says, hey, this guy's dead. And there's a female intruder he was talking about before he went.
And then Spock's eyebrow goes up, and he's like, "Oh shit! Red alert, guys! Red alert!" And then they're like, "We got to find a woman."
All the while tinkering with his fidget pad. Yeah,
right. Also, though, it was really sad that guy just passed away like that. But it was funny too that he pretty much nailed the description and everything, though.
Yeah,
they need to get her height.
They are just killing guest stars left and right. Old D'Amato.
Yeah, seriously.
And then Kenneth Washington, who played Watkins. That's the guy that just died. Watkins.
Oof, shout out to Watkins.
Right. Peace out, Watty. Now,
back on the planet.
Back on this quote unquote planet. They are talking about like, maybe there's people here. Maybe they're in the center of the planet. Maybe they got something that blocks our sensors. And he's like, we got to get some sleep. Tomorrow we got to find food and water.
Otherwise we're screwed. They are very casual about it too. About like going insane.
Right? And
it's crazy.
And then Kirk hands Sulu the tricorder and he says, put this on emergency broadcast automatic. And Sulu's going to take the first watch. Kirk and Bones fall asleep in about 5 seconds. Sulu's got the thing set up, and then you think that it's just the lady's going to show up right away, but it cuts back to the Enterprise, where our buddy Mbenga is like saying, now this person This fucking Watkins guy, same shit. All of his cells are disrupted, man.
Yeah, and he's like, I mean, it's the same the way the transporter guy died, but honestly, like, as a cause, your guess is as good as mine.
And old Choder Spock shows up again to say, my guess, Doctor, would be valueless.
He's like, this is not my occupation. This is your job.
Yeah.
Just hangs up, and it's like, what the fuck?
Hangs up on him. Then he's like, there's an intruder on the ship with an inconceivable power that can just not only disrupt people's every cell, but also they found out, right, that the Enterprise is going far faster than it should be, and it's overheating. Because that valve was overheating. And so these people have have the power to have Watkins murdered, to take control of the Enterprise, and then it cuts
also
to
launch it that far though too.
Yeah, teleport it across the fucking quadrant. Mm-hmm. Then it cuts to a beautiful lady's hand turning off Sulu's emergency transmitting tricorder, and she's like, "I'm for you." And he's like, the planet is hollow. What did you do to D'Amato? And he's like, I'm going to take you to talk to the captain. And she's like, you do not understand. I am for you. I have come for you, Hikari Sulu.
And he's like, what do you want? Stay back. I don't want to kill a woman.
He phasers the shit out of her. He trips walking backwards. And then she touches Sulu's shoulder, and he goes, my shoulder's being disrupted.
Yeah,
and then Kirk and Bones get in the way.
And then she just stops, and she's like, whoa, please, I am for Sulu. I much touch him. And Kirk's like, no, stop.
He just gets in her way.
And she's like, what? And no, like beams or zones out of there.
Very strange editing when she jumps backwards.
Yeah.
Like, this is the best. And she just keeps saying, I must touch him. I am for Lieutenant Sulu. And I just wanted to watch this. He says no, and then it cuts to a shot of her being very far away.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, my God.
Very
and then
startled.
Does the awesome 2D disappearance.
No, it was funny, too, that you were bringing up this point, too, when we were watching it a while ago. You were like, they're so shocked that she just teleported out of there, but yet they transport everywhere.
Everywhere. They're always so fucking confused when somebody teleports anywhere.
Yeah, right? And
every week.
But it was pretty cool, though, this teleportation. I would say the effects are on point.
Top notch. Best one since the original beam out.
Yes.
They don't find an intruder on the Enterprise. Spock's twiddling with his twiddler, as usual.
Yeah, it just looks like a little fidget spinner.
And then, of course...
Oh, yes, the line.
She says, Uhura says, what are the chances that the captain and the crew, the rest of the away team might still be alive? And, of course... Spock, who's got this Vulcan stick up his ass in this fucking episode, is like, Lieutenant, we are not engaged in gambling.
Yeah, he's like, we are proceeding in the only logical way to return to the place that they were last seen and to figure out whether they're still alive or not.
It's like the human half...
reading the plot.
It's like the human half of his body is just completely shut off.
Yeah, I was texting you this whole time. I was like, what the fuck happened to Spock this episode? Like, he just... You had a really good point. You're like, all of his development was just wiped.
Right?
And that made me think, like, was this an earlier plot? Or did the writer just, like, forget how Spock was supposed to act, you know?
Yeah. And
it's a pretty cool plot.
I dig it. I like it when suddenly one of the primary characters is just acting weird as fucking hell or against type or whatever.
We were giving the show way too much credit. We thought that was going to be another plot point, too.
Right? Yes. Like, Spock is going to be like, I got a transmission. My Sarek died. You know? Like, and he's like, I've been preoccupied. But no, He's just a dick. Now, this is when Scotty says, our speed is increasing. I can't stop it. And our shit is fused. So we've got 15 minutes before shit gets critical and the ship explodes. And then he says 15 minutes, and then Spock says, I calculate 14.87 minutes. And Scotty says, those few seconds aren't going to make any difference, Spock, because you and I and the rest of the crew will no longer be here to bandy it back and forth. He's like
Up your shaft.
Yeah, right.
Up your shaft.
And he's super, super sad, and he goes, "This thing is gonna blow up,
And
there's nothing in the universe to stop it."
Up your shaft.
and there's nothing in the universe that can stop it. And then Spock does a double eyebrow raise
Right.
going into commercial. Oh my God, he's like, I'm doing it right now, and my eyes are drying out as I do it.
No, and meanwhile, he's on speaker, and everyone on the bridge heard that, and everybody turns like, what now? That wasn't really a private call.
We're all going to explode in 15 minutes? 14.4?
Whoops.
Cut back to the planet. They're talking about, man, she must be powerful if she can just touch somebody and totally disrupt the biological structure. But when she touched Kirk, nothing happened. Or no, I don't think she's touched him yet. I think she just tried
stopped.
to, yeah.
Yeah, and he was like, why did she stop when I intervened? Like, was it because, it's not for me?
Man, I'll never own a home because the world is ending, but I want a panel just like 30 minutes in, Scotty's working at multiple panels, and God damn it, they look cool as hell. The set
cards.
design is just, he's got a different type of wooden card that has like a bezeled edge, and Spock is walking around in the room with him. Spock is both fidgeting his fidget toy thing and flipping switches on the wall. He's just like, I got no idea what to do with my fucking hands. And so Spock is trying to figure out, Spock is saying, look, we canceled the security alert because a force that could hurl us 1,000 light years away at that distance and still sabotage our main energy source isn't going to be taken into custody anyway. So there's no point in doing that.
Yeah, we got to take care of the ship first before we explode anyways.
Right.
What's the point of capturing someone if we're going to explode?
So they're going to have to send somebody into the antimatter matter reaction chamber with some kind of tool to disrupt it, right? But a man can't live in there. The energy of the magnetic field that bottles up the antimatter. And Spock is like, well, I'm going to try to do it. And Scotty's like, you'll be killed.
You'll be killed, man.
And then Scotty says, well, look, if somebody's got to do it, it's got to be me. He says, what have we got to lose? But I'll do it, Mr. Spock. I know every millimeter of that system. Spock doesn't fight him on that for a second. Spock's like, oh, yeah, no, go for it.
Yeah. No, and obviously, too, what was it? He goes, when Scotty goes, you'll be killed, man. Spock's like, well, I mean, it's better me than the whole ship. I mean, it's no better than us all being killed. And Scotty's like, I guess you're right.
And then Scotty's like, I'll do it. And this is what's one redeeming little exchanges that Spock has in this episode, because he goes, Scotty, when you said the ship didn't feel correct,
I took note of it. And now it seems like your feeling did feel something. So maybe all of human emotion is not complete garbage. Yeah, right.
I note it without necessarily understanding it.
Yeah, and he keeps giving a literal countdown to their
ticking clock again.
Yeah.
They got 12 minutes and 27 seconds, and Spock and Kirk and Bones and Sulu are trying to figure out what to do when that lady reappears.
And they're like, man, we're getting really hungry too. And as they're talking about getting water and stuff, there's this big whistle that's coming up, and it's kind of like a train, but it's going higher in pitch. And Kirk takes his phaser out of his pocket, and he's like, oh shit, the power, it's fused.
It's overloading.
It's overloading, get out of the way. And he throws it like a little grenade, and it's like, a nuclear blast.
It's funny when I heard that.
Goes white.
When I heard that sound, I was like, oh, his phaser must be overloading, because that's the same phaser overloading sound. Remember when that guy hid an overloading phaser in the room?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, dude.
That was such a good scene.
So now Scotty's got to climb into this, what we now know as a Jeffries tube, I believe.
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
Well, this
is
this
like a original imitation Jeffries tube? Because you see people in that.
Right. And this is the antimatter chamber, and you also don't often see in Star Trek where they have like an effects overlay over the video. And this, whenever Scotty's in this chamber laying down, first off, he's laying down all weird, but it looks like there's plenty of headroom in there. That's very strange. You could crouch and you'd be fine.
Well, yeah.
And so he's got to get into this thing and get this spanner in there and figure it out. But in front of the camera, there's like these lightning bolts, like little like a Tesla coil, on the sides of the screen. And the whole time Scotty's in there, they've got this effect up, and they don't often do that where they have like an animated effect over an entire shot like that. I like it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like they're leveling up. They're starting to take notes from other things on TV and like what's culturally exciting. I guess though remember the episode where they zoom in and out of the red alert flashes?
Yes!
That was so bizarre.
Oh my god.
That was interesting. It was a nice switch up. But anyways, it's really coming down to the wire now.
10 minutes.
Scotty is trying to remove, this lid so he can access this magnetic field, I guess.
So here's what he has to do.
What?
He
Okay,
has to disrupt this magnetic field, right? But if he fucks it up, it's like a game of Operation, as best as I could tell. If he touches the sides, that whole compartment is going to explode. And Scotty's saying, look, if you see a spike in the magnetic field, you need to eject this compartment so it doesn't blow up the whole ship. You need to sacrifice me.
Yeah, and while Scotty's like really giving him the rules, Spock's like, I am aware of the situation, and I'm aware of what's gonna happen, what's fucking going on. So just get it done.
Yep. Back on the planet, quote unquote, they get the door opening sensation on their scanners, and there she is again, this lady. And she knows everything about her, or she knows everything about them.
Kirk, yeah.
And then she says that she is there for Kirk, and so Sulu and Bones get in her way, and she just can't get around them.
It's just like this awkward game of tag. And like Sulu and Bones are just like blocking her from touching him.
Yep, and she's saying, I am sent, and Kirk is saying, by whom? And he says, where are there more of you? And she says, there are no more. And he says, are you lonely? And then does she pass out? Her eyes are getting all like, fluttery.
She's short-circuiting.
Oh, and then she does the 2D disappearing act.
Yeah, it was really weird that like Kirk brings up her humanity, Oh, and he also says though, don't you feel bad that you have to kill me? And she's like, well, I guess I literally do, but not the rope. And then she just melts, yeah.
It's like on Simpsons when the robots are like, oh, we finally understand love. And they're like, you can't understand love. You're a robot. And then they cry and their heads melt. And so Kirk and them are following this trail of detection stuff.
Yeah, they're like, oh, nice.
They're following the power level of her transportation.
Yeah.
And then they find a secret rock that moves out of the way. Well, this is weird.
And it's an entrance. And they're like, oh, it is hollow.
It doesn't look like it's not. It's just they move it out of the way. Like they could have just walked around that. It's very strange. And then there's a door that opens.
Door. And they're like, oh, cool.
An invitation doesn't exactly relax me.
Yeah, and they're like, well, and Kirk goes, well, whatever like exists on this planet exists in there, guys.
If they're gonna have a sandwich, it's gonna be in there.
Yeah, pretty much. He's like, I'm hungry.
and then Bones is Scotty's in the lightning chamber trying to fucking disrupt the magnetic flow, and Uhura's monitoring the readings, and they spike, and they tell him to get this tool out of there.
Yeah, he's like, Scotty, ease off.
And this is when they kind of figure it out. He says that Spock looks at his thing, and he says, somebody says that something is out of phase.
It's the ship. It's because he goes, Scotty, you go fix the antimatter, the magnetic stuff. I'm going to go research on the ship and see how it's different from what our current ship was before.
Yes.
So he's like
right.
He's like revising version history.
I totally forgot. So the whole time Scotty's trying to do this,
with his little doohickey thing.
Spock has the computer crunching numbers, And he says, he figures it out. So he tells Scotty to reverse the polarity of his magnetic probe. And Scotty's like, well, that'll definitely fucking blow us up. And
he's like,
also,
no.
there's no time. There's only 20 seconds. And so Spock's just like, just do it, Scotty. Calm down. And Scotty's flipping the thing around. And he's like, I've got it, but there's still no time. You got to eject me.
Yeah, you
got to eject me. And then he's like, then Scotty just does it. And then they're fine.
Yeah, pretty much.
And he says, Mr. Scott, you've accomplished your task. And Scotty goes, for what? Scotty goes, you could give me a thank you. And Scotty's like, for what purpose, Mr. Scott?
Yeah,
you
Spock,
humans always require your... And Scotty's like, never mind.
He's like, okay, turn this back on.
Now, we get to the boys on the planet, and they're in a big chamber with a glowing cube floating in the air. It looks like something you'd see at like a 60s dance party. Like it would be floating above the crowd, you know?
True, yeah.
And they would have videos projected on it. It's like a cube with white screen. That's what they're doing there. They're projecting onto it from the inside. And so they get around her, and she can't figure out which of them to touch, right? And then they find out a bunch of these other women appear, one for each of them.
Yeah, it's hilarious, this whole gimmick. They're like, okay, let's just switch around. And then Sulu, you
and then
defend both of
another
us.
woman appears, and another woman
And
appears.
Sulu's like, Captain, we can't defend each other.
And then Spock and a red shirt beam down. This is fucking
It's
great.
hilarious.
Spock and a red shirt beam down. And Kirk just looks at Spock and says, Spock, the computer, destroy it. And then the red shirt, just like with a totally dead look on his face, just pulls up his phaser and blows the thing up. Like, and it's funny because I just imagine Spock going, "Oh, is your name Spock, motherfucker?" Like, I think he asked me to blow up the computer. They zap the computer and the ladies disappear. Oh my God, what happened?
Yeah, weird.
So then we find out.
Oh, there was shot 990 light years across the galaxy, they say at the end there.
Yeah, not 1,000.
And
that
then
was
they
another
pull up
time that Spock corrected
Yes.
everybody.
And then they pull up the message, though.
Well,
And what is this?
before we get to this person's message, I want to say it's still stupid how fast the Enterprise was
for
able to get
sure.
back. They haven't figured it out yet on the show.
And then there's multiple lines, too, where Scotty's like, Spock, the ship can't go this fast. The Enterprise hull would be peeling. And he's like, it's fine.
It's doing it, isn't it?
Yeah, they keep going for another hour or
Well,
so,
no,
you
it
know?
slowed down after he did the thing with the
Finally,
tool. Yeah, because he had to
but
go disrupt the
They
magnetic
were at,
field.
But they were at
Warp
13.
14.
Yeah, 14, you're right.
Or more. It was like 14.4,
'Cause
14.
I remember in the movie, wasn't it like 10 or 9
10
or
is
10?
fucked
They were
up.
like peeling.
10 is fucked.
Yeah,
Like 10 is
yeah.
like fucked up.
I forgot which movie, but they were trying to get somewhere really fast.
10 was
They were-
fucked up
they were
until
peeling at 9.
until Discovery. Like 10 was like a fucking crazy speed until then. So like they just didn't know that back then when they were making
Yeah,
these
for
episodes.
sure.
They didn't get it. Now, here's what they pull up. They pull up a message that's from the lady, right? Now this lady is saying, let's see here.
She's wearing the same outfit.
She's
you
wearing
know,
the same
as
outfit.
droid
It's
killer
her.
thing, yeah.
And she comes up and she says, fellow Kalandans, a disease has destroyed us. Beware of it. After your long journey, I am sorry to give you only a recorded welcome, but we who have guarded the outpost for you will be dead by the time you take possession of this planet. I am the last of our advance force left alive. Too late the physicians discovered the cause of the sickness that kills us. In creating this planet, we have accidentally produced a deadly organism. And so now...
She's like, I will set the outpost control to automatic.
But here's the kicker. I think that fucking...
She's expecting the supply ships to get to the planet, right?
Oh, so this is Losira.
Losira, yeah. it's
Yeah.
Losira.
So Naomi Newman is Rada, the helmsman.
Oh, okay.
And this is Lee Merriweather, who I believe she was a Catwoman or Batgirl in the 69 Batman.
Okay.
So, but here's the thing, though. What I don't understand is she says, I, Losira, wish you well. to the people who are coming. And he says the previous ships probably spread the disease all through her people. The supply ship that came all these thousands of years, she's been waiting to greet people who are dead. But I thought that they fucking made the planet, and that's what caused the disease. So the generation ships on their way, I don't know.
Yeah, I guess it was really strange.
Like, how did
they were leaving?
How did the people who were on their way there
got disease?
Get the disease that was at the planet? Maybe they had ships that went back.
Yeah, or like,
and
if
then,
they were already diseased, why leave the planet? I don't know. Anywho,
I'm sure we could rewind it and watch it again, but I think we've done it.
Yeah, and honestly, they were both just everybody on the away team was just like, nah, that kind of sucks. Like, she waited for people that never came. Rough. Kirk's like, all right. He just whips out his tricorder and it's like, hey, can you beam us up?
Yeah, and this is kind of an interesting. He said it projected so much of Lucira into the replica that the guilt at killing disrupted her. That brought us the time we needed to destroy it. She must have been, he says, a remarkable woman. And then he says, and beautiful.
And hot.
And then Spock says, beauty is transitory, Captain. However, she was highly intelligent. And then and Kirk goes, I don't fucking agree with you. And then he goes, beam us up.
Yeah, and then that's
he says, beauty perseveres.
It's just funny that like this one just ended up being as simple as Mark of Gideon, but I felt like I was more entertained.
Yeah, and if they have the power to transport people 1,000 light years, why didn't they just do that?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't get it.
That far.
I've watched this episode 3 times in the last 2 weeks, and I still don't get it.
And you're like, maybe we should sit on this. And you're like, you're right. Because I remember the first time seeing the ending being like, what? That was it? Like, that really was it? Like, not in a bad way, but it was a very sad resolution.
The only thing that I have in my notes that I definitely want to mention is space shaking outside the ship was very funny. And I think we covered pretty much everything else I wanted to talk about. What did you think of the episode?
It was definitely, like I said, I do like it more than Mark of Gideon. I was thoroughly entertained. The effects were cool. I guess the only weak thing was that just the plot was very simple, and like what ended up being at the end was like, oh, okay, you know? And that, yeah, the best part was definitely the ending when Kirk was like, Spock, the computer, shoot it.
And that red shirt just dead eyes. No expression on his face. Just
and they're like, oh, okay, that works.
That works too. You're not Spock, but you were on it.
Yeah, right. And what else? The Spock being literal, that was really silly and ridiculous. Mm-hmm. The pilot being pretty great at her job.
D'Amato, remember D'Amato?
Passing away so fast.
The D in D'Amato stands for dead or disrupted.
Shout out to the transporter guy too. I mean, just
dead as hell.
Brutal deaths. And then I don't know. I guess it was just an all-around, like, solid episode. It was mysterious, exciting. I mean, honestly, if you read that description, it probably would have ruined it.
I did. I always read the description because I have to put the notes.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's very good, this episode. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
I liked it a lot as well, particularly on revisiting it. I hate Spock in it for sure because they just threw out every good character development. But every day player is good. Even that guy that plays Watkins is when he's like, there's a strange lady. She's got all the plans for the Enterprise. And fucking we get some Mbenga. The helmsman, Rada was great.
Yes, Rada.
Fucking D'Amato. There's a after Sulu gets his shoulder disrupted and he's talking about Lucira, he goes, she's so evil and so beautiful. That's funny as hell, dude. Like, there's some really good lines. The rocks look good.
That rock effect was dope.
Scotty saves the day climbing into the tube at the end. Yeah. Teleportation effect was great.
It was reminding me of, do you know the movie, remember the Star Trek movie where Scotty is climbing through the Jeffrey tubes of the Enterprise?
Yes.
And, destroying it from the inside?
Yes.
Yeah.
Reminds you of that. Good stuff. But Scotty's 40 pounds lighter,
yes.
Which there's nothing wrong with that. I just think it's funny how different he looks in the movies to this.
Oh, for sure.
And it's 12 years later.
Doesn't he do something though to his ship in the the 5 that we've seen.
Oh, he does
the original.
They do all kinds of shit to the show.
Yeah.
But
and
I
then the
can't.
missile stuff. But anyways,
Yeah, he needs them nuclear vessels and the whales and the how do we know he didn't invent it?
that line's so good.
Yeah, so that was I would let's see how many Lociras out of 5 Lociras.
Oh, there you go.
Out of 5 Lociras, I give this 3.5.
That's so. I was gonna say. I was like, is it a 4? No, it's not. Like, oh, I want to watch it again. But it's like, it was really good. The effects and stuff. So
Yeah,
I was right there with you. 3.5.
It's no Mudd's Women, but it's definitely a step up from Mark of Gideon. So there we go. 3.5. We're on the same page.
Go.
That's the Trek in the Valley stamp. Now,
Boom.
I usually say that we kind of originated this final segment as like recommendations for shit. Mm-hmm. But now that there's like, I'm just like, what are we watching? What are we listening to? It is recommendations, but it also just kind of ends up being what we're taking in at the time. And I like that.
Honestly,
so like, so Al, what do you usually do music, no pressure, but what are you listening to right now?
No, I got some. There's this one artist. His name is 1 Tablespoon or 1TBSP. That's just how you type it out. And he has this album called Mega City 1000.
Mega City 1000.
Yeah, I don't know. It's pretty interesting. It's like house, but then he also throws like a bunch of Latin stuff into it. And it's just a cool, interesting vibe. Like there's this one cool song that goes from like this reggaeton beat, and then it switches up into the speed house song, and then it switches back into this reggaeton beat. And it's like, this guy's close. Like he just needs a couple features or something to boost him, and we'll see what comes of it. But it's pretty solid. I'd recommend that.
Awesome. 1 tablespoon. And
Mega City 1000.
And a mega city is an urban area with a population of over 10 million people.
Oh, there you go.
Let's see if there's is
Mega City 1000.
Let's see here. Where does our lovely city rank? Los Angeles is a mega city at 15 million for the area. All right.
And 3 parking spots.
3 parking spaces. Yeah, and I got one behind our place. So, for me, I am watching, first off, season 2 of Rings of Power.
Oh, yeah. How's that?
Fucking good, dude.
Cool.
People who shit on this show are fucking morons. The lady who plays Galadriel is just so great, and Sauron is such a fucking dick. Like, he just knows exactly how to manipulate everybody. Like, you really see how he did it. Because, like, when they say, they get 3 rings for the elves, 5 rings for the dwarves, 9 rings for men, or whatever the fuck,
right.
You're like, why would they do that? Why would they let him do that? And they totally make a good case for it. And it's like, oh, it's because he knows exactly what to tell them and how to, like, lie to fucking get it done.
Okay, I'll have to watch it. Interesting.
So Rings of Power, and then also we're my wife and I are watching My Hero Academia, which is still going. It's new episodes actually right now. It's really good.
Okay.
And I'm rewatching Black Clover as well. That's great. But the big one though is Lord of the Rings. And the new Futurama. But the big one is that Lord of the Rings, that first season is so fucking good, dude. And season 2 is more of the same. And I hope we get a couple more seasons.
Oh, also, though, watch Mob Psycho 100.
I will check it out.
That is like a psychic kid, and he does crazy psychic shit.
I've definitely read the description going through it. The reason I haven't watched it yet is because I really have been on this fantasy anime kick, or like kids go to a school for superpowers.
Yeah.
But
like
I got to
level up one.
Yeah, I need to branch out. I need to branch out. But yeah, so that's it.
Cool.
Listen to that stuff. Watch that stuff. You can be just like us.
Yes.
Don't you want to be like Adam and Al from the Trek in the Valley podcast? And so thank you for listening to us talk about That Which Survives.
Dun, dun, dun.
Next week, we will be discussing The Lights of Zetar. Next week's episode is titled The Lights of Zetar.
Zetar?
The Lights of Zetar.
What?
The Lights of Zetar.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So come on back next week. Listen to us talk about The Lights of Zetar.
Zetar.
And we'll see you next week. Thanks.
Peace.
Listen to the bumper. Do all the stuff.
Yes.
Like, subscribe, help.
Thank you so much for listening.
Peace out. Trek in the Valley is executive produced by Adam Ordall Quinnell and Al Hirt. Theme song by Al Hirt. Recorded by Adam, mixed and edited by Al. Check the show notes for our socials, and you can email the pod at trekinthevalley, all one word, @gmail.com. Like, subscribe, review, and always explore strange new fucking worlds.